The Wellness Hour. An in-depth discussion with today's top physicians and medical leaders. And now, your host, Randy Alvarez.
You're watching The Wellness Hour, leader in medical news and information. I'm Randy Alvarez. Today's topic, the latest advancements in hair enhancement for women. With us, we have the founder of Raz International, Amnon. Amnon, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Now, before we get into the specifics of this topic, tell us about your company, about the kind of people, the kind of women that are coming in to see you. Who's the typical client?
Mistakenly, people happen to believe that that's an issue that only men experiencing, which is wrong. In fact, according to the American Hair Loss Association, there are more than 20 million women who are suffering from thinning hair and hair loss.
I don't see it, though, very often. Women, like I've seen some of your photos with these women with very thin hair. So they're hiding it, they're just not wearing hats.
Obviously women who are suffering from thinning hair would do anything they can in order to hide it, either by visiting their hairdresser once a week just to bleach the hair or to dye the hair or to lift it up or to tease it up and so ever, just to create the illusion of a thicker and fuller hair. That's an issue, and they're doing. Sometimes they're just wearing hat, to cover it.
Okay.
But there are many of them out there that, just desperately trying to look for any kind of solution.
Now, we've talked, by the way, and this is not an endorsement for you, by the way, and people need to know these are real interviews, but you are convinced the way you're doing it for women is really the cutting edge, probably the most effective, most natural looking way available today. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. Now let's talk about how you broke into this business. That means, 17 or 27 years ago, you started as an apprentice or something like that?
I started as an actual client, actually. And I was looking from the first moment I started with it just to improve it and to improve the method that this guy
Is it called the thread line method?
That's the thread line method. The whole idea is really to attach an additional human hair that matches the client's own hair in such a way that doesn't require any glue and any such a messy, solutions, just by using a special thin and strong thread to attach the additional hair to the client's own hair. It was a revolutionary, solution back then, and I loved it. I loved the idea. It gives a lot of confidence to the clients. It's perfectly secured, and I mean, once it's there, the client feels like...
This is what I've been told. I mean, the number one problem with women that don't want to do it is because of the shaving and because of the trimming. I mean, you still have to shave a little bit, right? Or trim
Not
a little
at
bit?
all.
No.
With
so with yours, that's how it's different.
my solution, and that's the biggest difference between that separates me from others. I don't need to shave. I don't need to trim any of the hair. In fact, my goal is to combine the existing thinning hair along with the additional hair, and that's what makes it good.
So that you know of really nobody else is doing that in San Diego? That you know of?
As far as I know, nobody else does it.
Okay.
And that's the.
And you're a perfectionist, they say, or your wife said, by the way.
In my, with my profession, I'm a perfectionist, absolutely, because.
I mean, you don't allow anybody else to do it, right?
No, I'm very centralist. I'm very centralist. I'm very involved, and the most, serious and significant part of the procedure is done personally by me. Why? Because I want to make sure that everything is done, the right way, the best way, to eventually achieve the best results.
You don't have salespeople at your place.
I don't have any salespeople. Actually,
I mean, you have a staff.
There are many women over there watching us now, and some of them may call the number that's showing on the screen. They're going to talk to me.
All right.
This is my direct phone number, and they're going to talk to me directly.
But with women with thin hair, okay, they talk to you. What are they currently doing? You say 20 million women have this female pattern baldness. What methods are they doing now to cover it up? I mean, you hear all the stories, obviously.
I see them in my office. they are looking for product first. You know, any shampoo, they have tons of bottles.
So they've tried all those things, okay.
They know all the brands. Every new product that's coming out to the market.
So they're experts on
the
thickening
first to
hair.
buy. And you know what? It's very simple. It says, well, this is going to regrow the hair you have lost. So let's try it. What can I lose? I mean, let's put a few $100s on it. If it won't help, it won't hurt. So
Yes.
only for their conscious, it's not bad, let's buy.
And this is
let's
what they
try
tell
it
you.
for 3-4 months. That's what they And, you know, it didn't work. It doesn't work.
Okay.
And then they're trying something else. And then they're checking with the dermatologist whether it's a medical issue. And, you know, in most cases, when we're talking about the female pattern baldness, that's not a medical issue. Nothing wrong with them. They're fine. They're simply losing hair due to the female pattern baldness. It happens.
Okay.
And as I said,
But people don't know where to go. They don't know where to. It seems like a lot of confusion in this
many
industry.
of them, they know about wigs, but many of them don't even want to try wig because wig looks and feels like a wig in most cases.
Good point,
I would say
okay.
in most cases, not always, not necessarily always, but it looks like a wig. You have a lot of limitations with wig. You cannot swim with it, you cannot sleep with it. You know, you cannot, you know, wash it and brush it and style it the way you want. You cannot change styles. You know, wig comes in a certain style and design.
That's
okay?
it.
That's it.
So the hair
You
you
choose a
design,
style.
the hair you design is their own hairstyle.
The
Whatever
hair
they
that I design and that I'm adding actually behaves like a natural, real hair.
So it's human hair, though. Is
It's
that right?
a human hair that matches the client's own hair with the same texture, length, and color, and type of hair. And, you know, we're going to choose the right density. That's a very important issue to make it, you know, look reasonable and fine and delicate. You know,
Okay.
not to create something weird and ridiculous. That's also not our goal. And then you can brush it backward today with a little bit of bangs, and then tomorrow you can brush it to the right
So you can take
or
a
to the
shower, you
left.
can shampoo your hair.
You can take a shower, do the shampoo, use the conditioner after the shampoo, absorb the wet with a towel, and then brush it.
So it's not
you
a hair piece that goes on.
Oh, no.
You're weaving it into their own hair.
It's a mixture. It's a additional hair that became to be one part with your own hair, mixed and combined with your own hair, such a way that you can brush it, wash it. You can use a hair blower if you like. You don't have to, but you can if you want. You can just let it dry naturally, and that's actually the thing that we are recommending.
So this method, and you developed it, improved it. You've been doing it 27 years, natural-looking hair. I've met some of your clients as well. But what age ranges? You were saying, you know, young.
You know, mostly we're talking about women over 40, but I have clients in my clinic on their 20s and 30s as
It's
well.
emotional. I mean, when they come in for the consult,
I
it
can
get
tell you
emotional?
one thing. There are a lot of tears in my clinic
Really?
during the consultation. You know, I've just seen a woman on her 20s that's suffering from hair loss. And she has already...
So where do they lose it? I'm sorry to interrupt. Okay, so young girl in the 20s, the top of her head.
The top of the head is, I mean, getting thin and thin by
Okay.
the time. And, you know, they feel, I mean, it's
So
aging.
she comes in and she's, what?
She comes, she's telling about what's going on with her head, and she's telling me about all the, you know, obstacles and trials that she has tried,
Okay.
which never, you know, helped in any way. And she's desperately trying to regain the hair that she has lost. She doesn't want to look old. You know, thinning hair is aging,
Yeah.
makes you look older.
So backing up to the consult for just a second. Okay, so a woman goes to you, she comes in with thinning hair. Do most of these people, they've done the research? That means they've called the places, they've tried wigs, they've tried every bottle of
They
stuff.
I wouldn't say tried, because they,
But I mean the hair thinning.
in many
shampoos
cases,
and
they
stuff.
don't even want to try.
Oh, okay.
A week, for instance. You know, especially if you're talking about a young lady on her 20s or 30s or even 40s, she doesn't even want to deal with wig. But they've made some research already, so they're a little bit familiar with what's going on in the market, and they're coming to me sometimes a little bit skeptical, I have to say. But when I'm starting the consultation, and I'm mentioning every time, I'm very accurate on my consultation, I'm very comprehensive, and my goal is to make the lady who's sitting in front of me very knowledgeable about every step of the procedure. So I'm giving it to them in a very clear way, along with pictures, and it's a very comprehensive consultation that makes them very knowledgeable about every step of the process. Once they realize, once they are fully understanding what's going on, they love it.
They say, let's do it.
They love
Are they
the concept.
surprised, by the way, that there was no shaving?
Oh yeah. Sometimes they just mention that they've heard about something else that required glue or shaving or things like that.
What are their fears, by the way? I mean, obviously, for me, I'd want to know, is it going to look real?
I'll tell you what, the fears, first of all, it's about the natural look. Okay. And they can see, they can go over a picture, and they can really understand what I'm doing. It makes it very clear, and they are, after that, they are very confident about the chances to succeed and to achieve the best result. They feel very comfortable about it, and they feel very confident about it. That's why, in most cases, fortunately, they are proceeding with me and going through the process. Now, there are some fears about, is it painful? I'm scared. Absolutely not. It's not. There is no any painful with it. It's not like the typical extension that some of the viewer may know. This is something different. I can control the tightness and the thickness, and everything is controlled by me.
Do you do men and women, by the way?
Yes, it's done
Mostly
by
women.
me. It's done by my hand. There is no. It's not. I'm not using an adhesive that I'm buying with a bottle, and I'm not using a tool that does the job. It's done artistically by hands. So I can really control. And by the way, while doing the procedure, the treatment itself, I'm sharing every step of the process with the client herself. So she knows exactly what's going on. She knows exactly what to expect. It's very important. We don't want any surprises.
This is a private issue. You probably don't get a lot of referrals from other clients because they don't want to tell anybody, right?
I'm telling them, I'm relying on referrals. I mean, this is another tool to generate more clients and to extend my business and my company. And they're saying, sure, I don't have any problem. She's telling me, no problem at all. I'm going to talk about it. Of course, why not? I'm going to help other women. Look, I'm looking so good. But you know what? This idea is melting down once they realize that nobody around knows.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. I mean, people don't know. I had a woman just a while ago that came to me, and when she came to the follow-up visit about 2 weeks after the treatment, she was very happy. She said, you know what, amazingly, my husband, who knew that she's going through such a procedure, told her, you know what, I can see your scalp, it looks fuller, but have you done something? I can't notice anything. Where is it? I mean, it's blended, and she has some gray hair, but it's blended perfectly. Nobody can really...
So the coloring, all of those things is controlled by you?
Everything is controlled by me.
Now, by the way, your hair, and I'm going to bring up your hair, if it's okay with you, is this system. Is that correct? And I've looked at your system, and I pride myself in being able to see, anything like that, but I've looked on from the top, and I always want to know how they did it, or how you did it, but you can't tell. And we were sitting over there in the green room couch, and I'm looking right there, because I was trying to take a peek. Can't tell. Can't tell. Same thing with women, though. You can't tell. Up close, you can't see.
Actually, I'll tell you something interesting. With women, we can get a better results. And the reason for that is very simple. The new hair is going to be mixed along with the existing hair. So women have more hair than men. Men getting bald. Yeah. Women getting thin. It's different.
So is this a huge, I talked to one of you.
Now you ask about my hair. That's my hair because it's paid, it's paid in full. So I consider it as my own hair. And I'll tell you something. Obviously, that's a hair replacement that I'm using for the last 28 years, I believe. Okay. And I'm happy with it. But once you do it, I'm not thinking about it as a hair replacement. It became to be part of me. I'm not thinking about it. I'm not bothered by using it. I'm swimming with my kids. I'm doing everything.
I'm going to take a quick break. We come back more about the process, what women can expect on day one, and what the turnaround time is.
Okay.
You're watching The Wellness Hour, leader in medical news and information. I'm Randy Alvarez. We're discussing advancements in hair enhancement for women. We'll be right back.
We spoke to real women with a real problem, thinning hair.
When my hair started thinning in my 20s, I just felt very unattractive. I felt like I was a man, like this doesn't happen to women, it only happens to men, and it was very upsetting. My friends, they always say, oh, my hair, it's a bad hair day, and I'm thinking to myself, well, at least you have hair, you know?
Right, when do we have a good hair day?
Yeah.
I just want to look like the way I looked 5-7 years ago.
Let me tell you about method trapeze. It's not a wig. It's a way of replacing hair by going from hair to hair, like a trapeze, creating bridges of hair along the way. Now, who's first? How does she look?
You look absolutely gorgeous.
You look great.
Thank you.
What do you think of her hair? Touch it.
It looks very natural, very, very becoming.
You're watching The Wellness Hour, leader in medical news and information. I'm Randy Alvarez. Today's topic, the latest advancements in hair enhancement for women. With us from Raz International, we have Amnon and one of his clients, Carol. Carol, thanks for coming on the program and sharing your personal story. As a recap, tell us a little bit about Carol.
Actually, Carol was the first lady who came to my clinic about 7 years ago.
It was here in San Diego.
When I just moved 7.5 years ago to San Diego, she was the first client who came to me and just got the consultation about our unique method to, replace hair that she has lost. She has went through several different, products trying to regrow the thinning hair, but she will be talking about it later on.
Yeah, so Carol, I'm looking at these photos when you went to Amnon. And in fact, when they put them on the table, you kind of cringed. Tell me about that.
Well, it was a process. It was getting thinner and thinner, and I look at them and I see my mother. So there became a point when I could no longer deny that family genes were working their evil magic on me. And as Amnon said, I tried the hair products, and when that didn't work, I tried the stuff that men are supposed to use, but they started making it for women, and that didn't work. And I considered wigs, but they were way too hot, way too
So
huge.
you were thinking, so your thinning hair was bothering you at this point?
It was bothering me. It started bothering me probably 10, 12 years ago, as I was spending more and more time in front of the mirror trying to tease it and cover the spots. Yeah,
okay.
trying to hide it. And finally, products didn't work, and I started looking into other methods. The wigs, as I said, wouldn't work for me because I'm already 10 degrees warmer than the average bear, so that was not good. And they were too full, and I was afraid they would come off. So I made some calls to other type of places.
You started looking into hair enhancement or those kind of things?
Well, everything that I read, the ads would jump out at me, and I'd call, and as soon as I heard the words, well, sometimes they wouldn't even talk to you over the phone because they knew they'd scare you away, but if they did, they talked about gluing and shaving, and that just turned me off completely. I mean, that was like taking my womanhood away.
Your hair back, you would have to shave your hair for them to attach some, interesting. Okay.
Right. And then I saw an ad for Amnon's place, Raz International. I even took my husband with me the first time.
Did it say in the ad that there was no glue or those kind of things?
I don't remember, but I just saw the ad and thought, okay, this is worth it, but I hadn't taken him to any of the other ones, and I said, it was my 60th, around my 60th birthday, things were getting critical. And I said, come with me. So we went and we sat down, met Amnon, and every question that we had, I asked him. He looked me right in the eye, gave me very honest answers. I had a really good feeling. And he gave us all the information. And I said, okay, we're going to think about it, and I'll get back to you. And my husband and I walked out in the hall, walked about 10 feet down the hall, and said, well, what do you think? And he said, sounds good to me. If you want to do it, do it. And he said, what sounds good to you about it? I said, well, the fact that if I don't like it, the worst I can be is back where I started out, because he's not going to shave my hair. It's
So
going
there's
to
no
be
shaving
attached
at all?
to my
There's
hair.
no shaving? What about
Not
clipping?
at all.
I mean, you have to cut it pretty tight to the scalp?
Not at
No.
all. We're not cutting, we're not trimming, nothing. We're using her own hair, and we're blending the existing thinning hair along with the additional hair.
So when you saw her, I'm looking at this photo, when you saw this, I mean, in your mind, did you see it and say, this is going to be good? I mean, did you know this was going to be a good result?
Absolutely. Actually, the first step during the consultation is to evaluate the, the probability to achieve the best results. So that's the first step to clarify. And when I saw her, it was clear to me that I can fix it in a great natural way.
Now, I'm right here. Looks great. Looks natural. And what a huge improvement from the old
and
days.
I can do anything I want with it. This is more of a dressy look for going out. If I want more of a casual look, going to play tennis or whatever I want to do, it can be a softer, more curly, more casual look. I treat it just like my own hair. I have to tell you, the first time I had it done, and of course he told me you can go swimming, you can do everything, it's going to look totally normal. I went home, next morning I took a shower, washed my hair, jumped out of the shower to look in the mirror to see what it was going to look like. It looked just like my hair. I couldn't tell that there was anything attached.
I didn't know where that story was going. I thought it was going to be gone. So really, you got out of the shower, you looked, and there it is. And it feels,
like
I mean, you can wash it, you have to be delicate with it?
No.
I wouldn't say extremely delicate. You should just treat it, normally.
Okay.
Not aggressively, obviously, but those who suffer from thinning hair and hair loss, treating their hair very carefully.
What did this do for your self-esteem?
It was great. The relationship between a woman and her hairdresser to me has always been important. You can be wearing your nicest clothes, you have on your makeup. If your hair doesn't look good, you're not the complete package. So I always had a good relationship with my hairdresser, but I had moved on to the next level. A regular hairdresser couldn't do anything for me. Now I've got that relationship with Amnon. I know that he was the one that gave me my look back because he gave me hair that looks natural. My friends, the few that do know about it, may know more and may know about it now, have even forgotten.
Was this a big part of your identity before, that you had thinning hair? I mean, where you always had to cover it or think about it?
Well, I always had to tease it. And the first thing you do in the morning when you get dressed is you fix your hair. And it was always taking me longer and longer, and so I was leaving the bathroom thinking about how crummy my hair looked. So I didn't think about it all day long, but if I walked past the mirror, I was looking to see if there were thinning spots showing. So it really did bother me.
Do you feel like he's an artist, by the way?
Absolutely, absolutely. And it was not easy for me to say, okay, you can show those pictures of me because I don't need the whole world to see them, but I wanted to let, if there's anybody out there who can identify with those before pictures, you can see how happy I am now, and I think it's worth it to just let someone else, a number of people, be as happy as I am. I mean, I pass people and I want to say, I could help you, but it's a very
So because you've had
touchy
it done, you see women with patchy hair, thinning hair, and you think, boy, if they only knew.
If they only knew.
Now, your role also is like an ambassador for Raz International. That means you have her talk to your clients. Is that right? Or you're
just
willing to talk
because
to
I want people to know that
for
they
free.
can be happier about it.
She does everything, including this
this
interview for free. She does it just as
Do
a
people
goodwill.
ever talk to you? I mean, do you ever?
As a goodwill to help people.
I haven't had people yet because not everyone knows that I have it. But if someone were to ask me, we've had seminars where I've spoken to people and I've told them about it. The reason I call it an enhancement because it's an enhancement in two ways. One, it's an enhancement to my hair, and two, it's an enhancement the way I feel about myself because I feel now I've got the whole package back. I can put on nice clothes, I can put on nice makeup, and I've got the hair to go with it.
Well, good for you. I want to thank you for coming on the show. It's a very, very nice story. We're going to take a quick break. More about the process, what they can expect on day one on the consultation. Thanks again. You've been watching The Wellness Hour, leader in medical news and information. I'm Randy Alvarez. We're discussing advancements in hair enhancement for women. We'll be right back.
The subject for discussion is women's hair loss.
Do your friends ever make suggestions about what you can do about your thinning hair?
Well, they always tell me, oh, you have a great personality,
Here's a better suggestion if you have thinning hair. Call for a brochure about Method Trapeze. Not a wig, not a weave. Method Trapeze is for real women with real lives.
You're watching the Wellness Hour, the leader in medical news and information. I'm Randy Alvarez. Today's topic, advancements in the specific area of hair enhancement for women and or hair restoration. With us, we have an expert on the topic. He is the president of Raz International, and he is an artist. Is that right? I've seen your work. It looks good. Final message, though, and this is for women with thinning hair that are watching this, and even doctors watch the show. You know, they don't like to admit it sometimes. But what do you want them to know about what you're doing and how they could direct a person or themselves to get started?
Very simple thing. There is a solution. It's effective, it's proven, and it's working greatly good. We can really achieve the best results. And when I'm talking about results, I'm talking not only about the visual results and the appearance of the women. I'm talking about the general feeling of this lady who's becoming to be more vital and more, you know, positive about everything.
Because you get your hair back.
Of course. She starts using more makeup. She's sometimes even changing her dress, etc., etc. So it does a huge of a difference. And for those who are watching us right now, as I mentioned before, the phone number that's showing on the screen is my direct phone number. They are very welcome just to call me. And if they're getting into the voicemail, just just leave a message.
And they're going to talk to you.
With your name and phone number, and you're going to talk with me directly. Actually, by talking to me by the phone, you will be able to get the first evaluation about my abilities to help you.
Okay.
And you will need to hear a little bit about your hair situation. From this point on, you're going to be in touch with me. The consultation is with me, and it's always free. So come to the consultation. I'm going to demonstrate the whole procedure. You'll be able to be very knowledgeable. The information is very comprehensive. And once you're done with the consultation, you will be able to make the right decision for yourself.
I want to thank you for coming to the show. Very good.
Thank you.
You've been watching The Wellness Hour, the leader in medical news and information. I'm Randy Alvarez. If you would like to see this interview again online, you can visit our website at wellnesshour.com or Raz International website. For now, I wish you good health.
Thanks for watching The Wellness Hour, the leader in medical news with your host, Randy Alvarez, the authority on health issues.